Okay, I know this episode is going to hit home with you because in my group, 4 weeks to boost your fertility, which if you don't know, it's exactly what it sounds. It's 4 weeks to boost your fertility at a root cause level. You know how we roll over here. I take 10 women at a time. I run it 4 times a year. We're in the middle of one of the rounds right now at the time that I'm recording this. And we have like a different focus each week to make sure that we're really getting like the maximum results we possibly can in 4 weeks instead of just talking about random stuff. I'm like, okay, let's dial in on what actually matters. And so one of the things we're talking about are like morning and nighttime routines, really anchoring your day in, like checking in on that, getting really honest with ourselves, what we need to tweak, all the things, right? So one of the things that we were talking about were our morning and nighttime routines. And every single, I would say maybe not 95% of the women in the group were talking about how they scroll on their phone in the morning as soon as they wake up, or they scroll on their phone like in bed right before they go to sleep. I'm obviously not throwing shade to them. Like, I love them so much. They're doing so much work to improve themselves. And I've been there. And this is literally just because our phones are literally addictive. Like, they're actually addictive. Excuse me. And so we need to get real crystal clear about if we're doing that and actually understand why we're doing it, how it's negatively impacting us, and what we can do instead. Because I mean, if you're listening to this, there is no way I am not going to believe you if you say you've never done that before. Like, we 100% have all done that, where you're scrolling right before bed or you're scrolling right when you wake up in the morning. I have actually been in the morning. It's not an issue for me. And it hasn't been for a really long time, even before I had Madison, but especially now with Madison because I'm with her right away. But even before I had Madison, I always made like a super conscious decision of like, I will not open up my phone. This really was more easy for me once I became a business owner. And like, my business is online, on Instagram, on, apps with my clients and all these things where I was like, I am not looking at emails, text messages, Instagram, nothing until after I meditate, I work out, I do all these things. Like, I have like a checkpoint for myself. And I still do that now. Sometimes I'll do it earlier if I'm like, oh my God, I just have to get this in. What if I'm like having a mom day or whatever? But the morning is really not an issue for me. Nighttime is more of the time where I notice that I'm on my phone closer to bed, but I've gotten so much better with this. And I really want to have this conversation with you, just like a gut check for you of like, are we doing this? And the things that I told my clients that are helping them where they've already made the changes and they're feeling so much better, which is like why I love them so much. Literally, I tell them these things, they make changes immediately, which is why they're seeing results so quickly. It's so amazing. But anyway, so here's the deal, right? Obviously, we know being on our phones first thing in the morning is not like the most ideal thing. You're probably staying in bed longer. You're probably not feeling great. It's like, it's just a waste of time, right? But what I really want you to think about is like, would you in real life open up your front door at 6 in the morning or literally the second you wake up to thousands of humans, like real humans, coming into your house and all talking about what they want to be talking about that day? You would literally be like, oh my God, I'm going to have a mental breakdown. There's 1,000, not even 1,000, there's thousands of people in my home right now, all talking to me at once. Of course, you would never actually do that in real life, but that's essentially what you're doing when you're going on social media first thing in the morning. Even the internet, just whatever it is, literally you're opening your world to the entire world. Thousands and thousands of the people, what they're doing, and it's immediately making it's creating the lens at which you're looking in the world and you're looking at the day from the second you wake up in the morning. So you are allowing other people to set the tone and to set your energy and your vibration and your mood for the day, whether you realize it or not, but that's actually what's happening. And most of the time we're comparing ourselves, we're not feeling great about ourselves, or we're feeling anxious about something that you're looking at on social media because the algorithm is probably sending you all this shit because maybe it knows you're trying to conceive or you're a mom or whatever. And it's like, wow, I just spent 15 minutes looking at everybody else's lives and now I feel shitty. Now I got to get up and do what I got to do. And you might not even realize that that's happening, but that's happening because again, it is dysregulating to your nervous system, whether you realize it or not. We've become so used to it, but just because we're used to it doesn't mean our body's used to it and doesn't mean that it's not negatively impacting us. Because again, remember, would you allow that many? Would you even allow 3 people in your home first thing in the morning when you literally open your eyes? Would you want them to walk in your bedroom door and be like, hi, da, 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 this is what I think about today. This is what I think. This is what I think. You would be like, shut the fuck up and get out of my house. What are you doing here? Like literally that would be your reaction. And that's what I want you to think about every time you go over to your phone to open up your social media. And if you're like, well, Corinne, I don't open up my social media. I open up my mail. I just have to like check my email or my text messages or whatever. Same rules apply because you are going off of everybody else's agenda. Because if someone's emailing you, they want something from you. They need something from you. It's what they need, what they want. It's inputting you, even if it's a great opportunity or whatever. It's still something. It's someone else's agenda. It's what someone else needs. Same thing for text messages. It's like we need at least bare motherfucking ass minimum half an hour in the morning where we're getting in our own zone. How do I want to feel today? What do I need to do for myself before I open up my world, my energy to the rest of the world, literally to my friends, my family, text messages, whatever it is. It's like, let's zone in on myself. What can I do to support myself? It's like the first thing we want to do when we wake up in the morning is not serve ourselves, right? We want to serve ourselves first as much as you possibly can. And I know like if you're a mom, you're listening to this, the first thing I do in the morning is not always serve myself. The first thing I do in the morning is usually because my child wakes up at like 5 a.m. these days is support her, right? So like that just is what it is, but that supporting makes I just love her so much and you get the vibe. But what I'm talking about is specifically phone stuff, okay? And so really get honest with yourself about that. And then it's like, well, okay, you probably know that you're like, I don't really want to be doing this, but I'm just like, it's just a habit because it's literally an addiction. So what I want you to do is really think about, and we're going to talk about the nighttime too, because that could be a bigger issue for you. Like it is hard. Most people have like, usually it's harder one time of the day than the other for various reasons, but it's like, okay, so now you're realizing like, oh shit, like this is not great. And it's like, what? And this is so real, like gut punch too. When you say, oh, I don't have time to meditate, or I don't have time to go for a walk. I don't have time to prep my breakfast. I don't have time to do X, Y, and Z. It's like, how long are you scrolling on your phone in the morning? Let's check your screen time. The next time you say, I don't have time to do something, right? It's like, that could be real. Like we, depending on the season of life you're in, like we really sometimes, especially if you're a mom already, like there is just so many things that are out of our control time wise. But let's get honest with ourselves. And if we're scrolling on the phone in the morning, but you're still saying you don't have time to meditate, or you're like, I don't know where I could fit it in. It's like, well, I just found you at least 5 to 10 minutes of where you could fit it in right here. Right. So really get honest with yourself, because we have to be honest with ourselves if we want to create positive change. And this is not a shame game. Like this is not shaming yourself, feeling guilt about what you've done, like beating yourself up. Hell no. Literally every single person has done this or is doing it, right? Like, but that doesn't mean that we should continue doing it. It means, okay, let's get honest with ourselves. Let's see what I actually want, how I actually want to feel, and let's make a change that's uncomfortable, because it is going to be hard. And you are going to automatically reach for your phone because you're literally wired to do it. You're addicted in your body. It's a pattern now. But what I want you to do is disrupt that pattern. When you notice yourself reaching for it, and sometimes you're not even going to notice it until you're already scrolling, then you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Whenever you realize it, whether you realize it when you're mid scroll, whether you realize it when you're just reaching for your phone, or whether you realize it as soon as you wake up, just like intentionally stop the pattern and be like, okay, I am going to make a different choice, a choice that my future self, my current self, like is going to be proud of, and that is going to help me feel my best each day, because your morning really sets the tone for the whole day. Think about how much better you'll feel and how many more positive actions you're going to take later in the day if you start your day by waking up, having your electrolytes in the morning, having your warm lemon water, having your breakfast, maybe meditating, getting some sunlight, like doing a workout, whatever, journaling if you want, praying, whatever it is, versus waking up, scrolling, getting lost in the fucking dark hole of it, and then being like, oh shit, I gotta rush. Now you're rushing because you're late. Now you're like, okay, well, let me put this together. I don't have time to do my warm lemon water. I'm just gonna get my breakfast. I don't know. Like, wow, what a difference. What a difference. And even if you're just like, oh, it's only 5 minutes, it's still 5 minutes. Like, respect your 5 minutes, and more so respect your energy, your vibration, and the tone that you want to set for your day, because you are allowing other people to set the tone for your day when you are first thing in the morning going on your phone. Okay. And really, nervous system regulation. Your nervous system is so tightly connected to your fertility, to your hormones, to everything. And this is something that we're not realizing is actually dysregulating the fuck out of you first thing in the morning. And that's going to negatively impact your blood sugar, which is going to negatively impact your gut and inflammation, and on and on we go. Okay. So disrupt the pattern, whether that means getting an actual alarm clock and sleeping with your phone, like, either on your dresser or in another room or whatever that is, or having like on top of your phone too, or right next to it, like a book or a journal or like a sticky note. This is like meditate, just like remind yourself, okay, wait, I'm not gonna scroll, I'm gonna meditate instead. Disrupt the pattern with something and replace that action with something else. So it's like, okay, instead of getting up and scrolling on my phone, I'm gonna replace that action with meditating. I'm gonna replace that action with just sitting there and literally thinking about what I'm grateful for. I'm gonna replace that action with journaling. I'm gonna replace that action with getting up and stretching for 5 minutes or looking out the window at the sun if the sun is up at the time you get ready or whatever it is, right? Replace the action and break the pattern. Okay. So that's like the first part. Now, nighttime. This could be, and this is definitely my Achilles heel because nighttime is when I like catch up on stuff from the day because Madison is sleeping. I'm not with her at nighttime. I don't like being on my phone with her as much as possible. She'll sometimes see me on my phone, obviously, like when I'm working or just whatever, like she's going to see me on my phone, but I really avoid it as much as I possibly can. So at nighttime, that's when I'll like catch up on stuff, order things I need to order for her, for me, catch up on text messages, whatever. And then like the girls chat will be popping off and I'm like, oh, I don't want to miss out on it. Like I want to see what's going on. I'll catch up on DMs or whatever, like, doing some work stuff, some personal stuff. And so this is where the lines can get blurred for me. And what I have done that has been extremely helpful is specifically for social media. I do not go on social media past 8:45, right? 8:45 is my cutoff, right? Because I usually am wanting to be like asleep by like 10 o'clock. So 8:45 is my full cutoff for social media, not happening, done, like I'm not on it. Now, for a good amount of time, I was also doing that for like texting and all that and just saying like, okay, night, everyone, like love you, whatever. But like recently, I'm like falling into the pattern of like reading the girls chat or my parents or like my sister or my mom, we have a chat together and like for that, and that thing is coming up. Maybe I should talk to my therapist about it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to miss out. Like, I want to read what they're talking about. Like, and it's also that connection piece too, especially like working from home. I'm a mom. Like, I don't do stuff a lot with my friends. Like, I'm not like just going out and doing all these things. So it's like, it really is the connection piece too. That's a big part of it, of like just wanting to feel connected, wanting to like have that time for like me. Right. So that could be where the lines get blurred of like reading my text messages and stuff and then going in bed. But I will never do it right before bed. I always read in bed before I go to sleep, but I still want there to be a little bit more space in between. So what you can do, and again, same thing for the morning, is like really have a cutoff time, or in the morning, you're like, I am not going to look at my phone until a half hour after I wake up, whatever time that is, or until an hour after I wake up, or until I have my breakfast, or I have my warm lemon water, I have my breakfast, I meditate, whatever. It's like, I will not look at it until this point, right? Like have a cutoff, whether it's a time or whether it's after certain actions you're taking. And then same thing for nighttime. I think nighttime, it's helpful for a time cutoff, right? More so than an action cutoff. So a time cutoff is going to be really helpful for you, ideally an hour before you go to sleep, right? Because what we were talking about too in 4 weeks of Booster Fertility is like, it's keeping your brain awake. So specifically at night, even if you're like, well, I have my red light blocking glasses on or whatever, my blue light blocking glasses on, it's like, well, it's still keeping your brain awake and stimulated, whether you're scrolling, whether you're texting, whether you're doing whatever, because it's moving so fast, right? And if you think about how like stimulated we are throughout the day, just from work, parenting, phones, like everything, we really do not need that stimulation right before we go to bed. Like we obviously know that. Like these are things you already obviously know. This is just like a let's remind ourselves of what we need to do and let's get really clear on how we can support ourselves as best as possible, because it's these little habits and these little things that we think don't make that big of an impact but actually make a huge impact that are going to make the biggest difference in how you feel, the actions you take in your fertility. Like it's these small micro changes that are going to make the biggest difference. So before bed, have a cutoff time of like, I'm not going on my phone, I'm not watching TV, I'm not doing anything, before an hour before bed, right? And if you're like literally scrolling up until the second you fall asleep, because some of my clients will be like, well, it helps me fall asleep. If you're someone who wakes up in the middle of the night, you're like, well, it helps me fall asleep. It's like, it might help you get tired and help you fall asleep, but it is not helping you get a deep sleep. And let me tell you, deeper sleep is way more important than the actual amount of hours you are sleeping. I wear Temp Drop every night to like track my basal body temperature and also gives me my sleep score. There are so many times where I'll get a longer amount of hours of sleep, but my sleep wasn't deep and my sleep score will be way lower. That like, I'm pretty sure last night was a perfect example of this. Let me pull this up, because last night I had less than 6 hours of sleep because, my child wakes up at the crack of mother effing dawn. It's fine. We love it. It's what it is. It's a great problem to have. So I'm here for it. But okay. So last night I got 5 hours and 56 minutes of sleep. but it was consistent. She didn't like wake up in the middle of the night. She just woke up at 4:40 in the morning. And so I had a sleep score of 89, okay, which is like so good for me. If you're listening to it, like, oof, I'm like, oh my God, 89 is so good, right? Just because she's usually up so much. The night before, I got 6 hours and 36 minutes, so almost an hour more, and my sleep score was 64, okay, which is generally where I fall at these days because it was uninterrupted and I got pretty much when I was sleeping, it was all light sleep, barely any deep sleep. So just because you going on your phone or whatever is helping you fall asleep does not mean it's helping you get quality sleep. Quality over quantity always, okay? With workouts, with sleep, with all of it. Do I want you to be getting 5 hours of sleep like me? No, but you know what I'm talking about, okay? So let's find other things that are going to help you fall asleep, but it's actually going to help you get a deep sleep, like reading in bed. That is such a great way to just prime your body, to like slow everything down. I've gotten into, I was reading nonfiction and like education books, whatever, for so long, literally for like a decade. That's like all I was reading. And I got into fiction books again last year. The best thing I ever did. I've read so many more books because it's like entertaining. It's a storyline. Like I love it. I'm such a sucker for a romance novel. Like I love it so much. So it like makes me look forward to getting into bed and I don't even want to look at my phone. I'm literally not even thinking about my phone because I'm so into the book. And it helps you like sometimes I'm like, okay, I gotta go to sleep. So I'm like, I could be reading for like an hour. I'm like, okay, wait a second. I need to like cut myself off because it's so good. But it really helps you prime you for a deeper sleep because you're not on your phone. You're not so stimulated before you go to sleep. So again, replace that action with something. Listen to a guided meditation before you go to sleep. Journal, draw, color, like, read whatever the hell it is, but replace that action and have a cutoff time with yourself. And like I'll tell everyone like, okay, I'm going to sleep, like I'm shutting down. Like I'm shutting down. Obviously, do not disturb mode. You already know. And just you have to be so disciplined with yourself. And also there's gonna be nights where you're not disciplined and you're looking at things and like it is what it is. Have that like where you're not shaming yourself, but also you're holding yourself accountable and you're being disciplined with the things that you say that you want and how you actually want to feel because it's going to make such a difference in your life. And I really just want this episode to be a reminder for you because like it was for me, for my clients, like of just like, okay, what can I shift that's going to help me not do this? Because I obviously know it's not supportive, especially if you're trying to conceive and you are going to bed and scrolling on all these different things that you're seeing on TikTok, all these different fertility hacks and all this other shit that you could try. Like that is dysregulating the fuck out of you. And again, when your nervous system is dysregulated, your fertility is negatively impacted, period, immediately, directly. We want to eliminate our nervous system dysregulation as much as possible. And this is a really easy way to do that. So I want you to really get clear. Like after this episode, just like take a pause and be like, okay, where am I at with this? Am I scrolling every morning in the morning? Am I scrolling every night before I go to bed? Am I doing it just one time and not the other? Am I not doing it at all? Am I like, Corinne, I'm crushing this. Let's go. So proud of you. And just like, okay, what am I going to shift first? Focus on either, it depends on your personality. You might be all or nothing where it's like, okay, I'm doing both. I'm not doing it in the morning. Here's my cutoff time in the morning. Here's my cutoff time at night. Like I'm done. Or you're like, okay, let me just tackle the morning first and then I'll work on the nighttime, right? It depends on your personality. You do what's best for you. But I really want you to get crystal clear and really honest with yourself of where you're at with this and how you can make these small changes that are going to make such a difference in your day-to-day life because you don't need to be available to everybody 24/7. You don't need to have everybody else's energy coming at you first thing in the morning until the second you close your eyes at night. It's way too much for our bodies. We were never meant and designed to live like this. And this is the world we live in now. So we have to be really clear with the boundaries that we have with ourselves. So often we talk about boundaries with other people, which of course is important. But what boundaries do you need to set for yourself, which is sometimes harder, right? Because you could just be like, oh, whatever, it's fine. Like you're the only person that's like going to be breaking a boundary with yourself. But like, let's stay really true to what we want and respect ourselves enough to set these boundaries that we know are going to help support us. And when we feel ourselves falling back into old patterns, knowing that, okay, this is normal. It was a pattern. My brain is literally wired for this right now. I have to intentionally rewire it so that I can now get used to a new neural pathway, a new thing that I'm doing. And it is going to take some time to get used to it because your brain is literally used to what you're doing right now. But it's going to love you for it and you're going to love you for it and your hormones are going to love you for it. Your fertility is going to love you for it. Everybody else is going to love you for it. Like it's so good. So let me know what hit home for you with this. What are you working on first? Like just come and message me about it because I want to hear, I know this resonated. Like this there's no way that only my 95% of my clients are dealing with it and nobody else is. Like, this absolutely is. So I can't wait to hear what comes up for you for this. I'm so proud of you for doing this, because this is the shit that people don't do. It's easy to take a supplement. It's easy to add in a workout. It's easy, or say simple, whatever, but somewhat easy to change your diet. It's not easy to change these habits that are so ingrained in us and that literally just take us making a different choice and being super disciplined when nobody else is watching. Right? You're the only person that's going to know if you're doing this or you're not doing this. So what are you going to do? What choice are you going to make? How do you want to feel? Okay. I love you so much. Thank you as always for being here. Let me know how this episode hit home with you. I love when you message me. I love when you tag me on social media or you share this with your friends. Like, it literally means the world to me. This is how this podcast is growing. We are almost at 1 million downloads. Actually, I haven't checked in a really long time. We might literally be there. I have to actually check. We're going to do an insane giveaway for it. I cannot even believe it. I'm going to check actually where we're at as soon as I hang up the phone, as soon as I get off this episode. But I'm so grateful for you, this community. I mean, you're the best. I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for being here. If you loved this episode and learned something valuable, please share it with a friend who you think would also love it, or post it on social media and tag me so I could personally say thank you for helping me spread this important message. I am beyond grateful to be here with you. So until next time, stay intentional, stay consistent, and always mind your hormones.